Hi Sarah, good to see you today.
You too.
And lovely to be in your centre.
Wonderful.
Can you tell me a little bit about your area that you teach in?
Yes, so I work with the 3 to 4 year olds
Uh-huh.
in a long daycare centre.
Mm-hmm.
So we have 15 children in that room with just me.
Just you?
Just
Okay,
me, yes.
Right, okay. And tell me how you came into teaching. What led you into teaching?
I think it was even as a young child, I was babysitting. So
Uh-huh.
looking after children, and as soon as I left high school, I went straight into a traineeship. So it was something I was drawn to
Yes.
with little people
Yes.
and just nurturing them and seeing them grow. So I knew from a very young age this is what I wanted to do.
Okay, now has that
Yeah.
changed at all over the time
No.
that you've been teaching?
No, not at all. Not at all. I think there's more things out there that you want to provide them.
Mm-hmm.
And my passion's always been very strong. So I am where I need to be.
Right.
Yes.
And so you haven't got any thoughts of changing at this point in time?
No, not at all.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about your teaching style. You know, what you like, what approaches you like, what theorists you like.
I think over the years that I've been in early childhood, I have been told that my approach is very calm. So I have a very calm approach with them. I do believe about, love is teaching within itself. So I am very nurturing, and I think I found that really helps them because they're making that attachment with me.
Uh-huh.
And then I know them so much better.
Right.
So all over the board, I have probably over 30 children
Right.
in my care, and I know every single one of them.
So can you explain what you mean by 30 children in your care? You
So
said
I
15 in
have
your group?
15 a day.
Yes.
And then all over from the week, I have 30 children that I care for. So maybe 15 a day, but it's 30 different children.
Oh, okay. So some come 2 days a week, some come 3 days a week.
And some come for maybe even the one day. So one child, one day.
Yes.
With my approach and my teaching styles, that has helped me to know them. So I know their quirks, I know their fears, their interests, and I feel that comes from my teaching style.
Right. And so can you give some examples of how you put your teaching style into practice? What does it look like in practice?
I think it looks like in a practice is that it's, let me think how to put it. We have a lot of fun. So, yes, we have boundaries, but the teaching style is, in practice, I feel, is that, you come down to their level. So you really listen to them, and you take on what they're saying, because especially with 3 to 4 year olds, they have amazing opinions.
Yes.
So, let's listen to them. So that's what I'm about. Listen to them, let them lead your curriculum, and love them. In childcare, I feel that people forget that you just need to love them as well, because, they're little people.
Yes.
So, we have a lot of cuddles. We have time, a lot of downtime where we just have a chat and we have a talk. And so we don't have a lot of structure in my room.
Right.
So we do have structure in our routine, but a lot of it is play-based.
Right.
Because they're learning through their play constantly, and then I can witness that.
So how would you develop a play-based program?
So I've kind of developed my own. So it's called an emergent project-based curriculum, which is it works for me and it works for my children. So they lead it.
Yes.
So an interest that might come up, I will extend on it as soon as I can, and it will lead to some amazing things. Especially at the moment, we're doing the 3 Little Pigs.
Uh-huh.
Just because it came from some imaginative play out in the playground, which has now led into using puppets in story time. We're building the 3 Little Pigs house, and from all of that, they are learning some amazing things. So our curriculum is very child-led, with a little bit of intentional teaching for individual children who need that. So we do a lot of projects.
Right.
So it might not be building something, it could just be focusing on something. So we've got the 3 Little Pigs for some children, and then we've also got water at the moment. So let's explore water. How does it work? How does it move? So that's how our curriculum works.
Okay, great. Now, over your career, how long have you been teaching for?
I have been in early childhood for on and off for about 16 years.
Okay, so that's a little bit of time. And have you seen some changes during that time?
Yes, absolutely. Also because I have come from the Northern Territory and I've moved to Victoria. So within that period, very different.
So tell us a little bit about some of the differences. Like you're saying even differences in state, you're saying, as well as differences over time.
Yes, yep. So within the state, for me, it's cultures I found is very different. I'm coming from a highly Aboriginal-based culture. I am Aboriginal half myself.
Yes.
And so coming to Victoria, I haven't seen a lot of that.
Right.
And that's what I'm so used to. So for me, having different cultures to learn about, it was a big change, especially with such a vast diversity in Victoria. It was amazing. So for me, it opened up my eyes from coming from such a high culture of Aboriginality and Indigenous to Victoria was amazing. The changes I feel is that with the framework, that was a bit challenging just because you have to interpret it yourself and learning that and just all the different things that have been put onto us that we have to do and we have to learn.
Yes.
So I find the changes with that it is good in its own way. And just what you're teaching the children, I think, is a really good thing, and what you're focusing on now compared to back in 10 years ago. We were all stuck on development, but now it's like, let's look at the broader picture of what they're learning, not just if they can throw a ball. And
right.
That's what I found. The change has been amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not just skills.
Yes.
It's so much more, and I'm glad that the industry is now looking at that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do you find that your own personal heritage, culture, understanding, that you're able to bring that into your work?
Yes. So we do a little bit. We have the children at the moment love hearing my Dreamtime stories.
Oh, yes.
So because we're just coming into transition at the moment, so the children have just moved up into my room, and we're using puppets for story time. So they love it. And then they have questions about it, because I find here that you may not see an Aboriginal in the street. And that's what I found, because I'm like, where are all my people?
Yes, yeah, exactly.
So I think that's really good for them to see that there's another culture out there that's so amazing, and then slowly get them to understand where they've come from. So we do bring that in, especially around your NAIDOT week. We do a lot of activities, and then I talk about it a lot.
Yes.
So it's not just an activity for that 1 week. They already understand it.
Yeah, it's part of who you are.
It's part of who
teacher.
I am. So yeah, I feel that we don't have to celebrate it. We do it daily.
Yes.
So sometimes my language might change, and they'll look at me and, what are you saying? I'm like, oh, sorry. So it's just, I think that's a part of me, and they accept me for who I am. So I think that will teach them some amazing skills.
Yes.
That we're all equal, and so I do bring that in a lot. So we read some fantastic stories that I have as well, and I bring paintings in that from my family. So yes, we do.
Oh, that sounds just amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when you think of the time that you've been teaching for, what would you think of as things that have changed? You mentioned that the curriculum had changed, but what else has changed? And also, how do you think you've progressed in terms of your own professional development and moving from being a novice teacher to a much more experienced teacher?
I think it's just taking the good and the bad experiences. So because I've moved from different centres, so you've got your community-based centres, private-owned centres, all experience I've taken is I take all the good out of it, which has helped me. So I may see something that I don't agree with in a centre or in a practice, and know that that's not who I am. Right. So I have started out as very shy, very maybe not as confident as I am now, and then with having amazing role models has really helped me. Has helped me grow into the educator that I am today. and then not being afraid to ask. You know, if there's some training out there, go and grab it, because it will open up your eyes to some amazing things that you may not have thought of.
Right.
So I feel that just training, role modelling, and just the experience getting in there and having a wonderful go has made me who I am today. So, did I get that right?
Yeah, I don't think there's any right or wrong.
No.
I think that's important. So you've been talking about professional learning.
Yes.
So if we go back a step and just think for a moment about what is it that makes a successful teacher today?
I think, in my own personal point of view, is to just be really flexible. You know, I think to make it an amazing teacher is that being flexible and being really open-minded, because if you're so close-minded, you're not going to learn all the new things that are out there. And just have fun.
Yeah.
You know, yes, it is a job, but you know, the children are amazing.
Yes.
You know, get in that sandpit. You know, get dirty. Get on the floor with them, because that's when you're going to learn. And I find that that's amazing. You know, and sometimes we do forget that, because we do have a lot of responsibility, especially being a diploma qualified. There's so much more that you've got to do. But when you're with those children, make sure you're in the moment.
Yes.
And that's what's really important to me.
Good. Well, we're just going to ask you one more question to finish off with. We're just going to ask you, what do you see as significant constraints or challenges for you at the moment? And are you able, and are there any resolves to them?
I think every educator will say the same thing, is that it's the paperwork. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel in the near future at the moment there's going to be a resolution for it, because it's just our regulations, what we have to do. So it's a challenge for me, especially because I'm on my own.
Yes.
So it's just me and my 15 cherubs. So it's not a lot of time in my routine to find a few minutes for me to quickly write up a reflection. So I feel that the constraint for me is that. So just keeping on top of everything and making sure that your curriculum's up to date, just all the boring stuff basically.
Right.
Is what is really challenging for me, because I cherish the time I have with my children in the room. The paperwork is second. It comes second, but it's always on the back of my mind. I know it's there, and I know I have to do it. So I feel that is a big challenge, and it's not just me on my own. A lot of other educators are finding that it's so time consuming, and that it's a balancing act that I don't think we're ever going to balance it at the moment. So hopefully in the future.
And you think that that's changed over the years? Did you have to do that earlier?
We did, but it wasn't as much.
Okay.
I look back at when even first training. So I did a traineeship back in 1998.
Okay.
A while ago. So even the training back then was very simple, and the paperwork was very simple. So going into childcare, it was your very basic observations, and it was a lot of checklists. So it was very simple, and over the time it just seems to be getting more and more that is expected of us, and the quality as well has changed. So it feels like there's a lot more workload that's expected of us, but we still need to maintain the quality with the children as well.
Right.
So yes.
Well, look, that's fabulous. Thanks for sharing some of your
Not a
thoughts with
problem
us
at
today.
all. Thank
And
you.
we wish you well with your children.
Thank you.